Hi, I'm Mikael from Breathe Infinity. And we have a common denominator. There's a common denominator to anxiety. There's a common denominator to obesity. There's a common denominator to trauma. And quite frankly, there's a common denominator to disease. And that's called stress. Now, some might think that's a bad thing, but I look at it as a good thing. Because there's now one thread that if we have a different relationship with, we can cure many ailments. And that's homework number one. Understand what happens to your body when it's under the conditions of stress. It doesn't burn fat because of the hormones. When you're in fight or flight, not only does it not burn fat, but it does not digest food. It doesn't even give you oxygen to the brain because all the oxygen is going to the muscles. So you can't think clearly. You can't digest food. That's why many of us live in obese states, because we have a lot of stress in our lives. But as I said earlier, stress is not a bad thing. You remember those late night cram sessions when you were in college and you needed that little urgency to take it seriously? Stress was good then. How about that time when I was going over my handlebars, when I was coming downhill and hit a pothole and I was headed for a parked car? Woo! Stress kicked in real good and I was able to slow motion effect, think clearly, and dodge my way out of tragedy. But that's what sports athletes do all the time when they get into the zone, into that crunch time situation, that stressful situation. They have an outer body in the zone experience. And what do all of them say? It was effortless. Stress kicked in good then too. So we're really using stress or allowing stress to use us. So let's switch that all around. Let's take the positive aspects of stress, the energy, the focus, the execution, the zone, and let's apply it to our lives. Homework number two. When you encounter a stressful moment, take a deep breath. I'm talking about use your diaphragm, use your nostrils, and take a deep breath. You got to get oxygen to the brain. And if you have enough time, 40 seconds, take 4 of them. That's 4 seconds inhalation, 1 second transition, and then 4 seconds exhalation with a 1 second transition. And now do 4 of those. That's about 40 seconds. And now check out how you feel. You're clear, you're efficient, and you're able to get your task done much better. So that's when you just be aware when stress or the flight or flight comes into your situation, because in many times there are false alarms. And so we can turn that off, because what's happening is that we're constantly under stress 24/7. And if you look at stress as a muscle, that means the muscle is contracting all the time and it doesn't have any opportunity to relax. And I know muscles, and when you do that to a muscle, you wear it out. But if you want to build a muscle, you got to do intervals. And one of the things that I like to do, I like to hold my breath. See, you're really under a state of emergency. You really got fear going on when you're trying to think about oxygen, when you need to breathe and you're without it. Now you are manufacturing stress on your levels. Now, when you encounter a stressful situation, you're much calmer. You're able to actually have clarity instead of anxious. It's a much better prospect that goes on inside your mind when you're able to relax in real time. Homework number 3, take cold showers. See, I started going to the beach every Sunday and going in the ocean. This was right after COVID because they had been stripping me from my spiritual journey of going to the beach. So I'm like, I'm going to get in Mother Nature. I wanted some of her, negative electrons, to actually infuse with my body so I can balance out all of this static energy that I got going on. I started doing that every Sunday. It started in the spring, it went into the summer, finally it got into the winter and the fall. And by the time I hit fall, I was used to it. I was used to that coldness. So when I start taking cold showers, another Wim Hof method, when I start taking cold showers, it was nothing. I could be in the shower 4 or 5 minutes, be twinning all underneath my arms so I can really feel the sensations. And I would feel invigorated after the shower. So with the holding your breath technique and the cold shower technique, you're training your body how to react in stressful situations, which are real stressful situations. Your body fluctuating, the heat when it's actually cold, that's a stressful situation. You running out of air and you can't breathe, that's a real-time stressful situation. So when you get on these kind of like make-believe stressful situations, they're not as serious. See, it's changed my whole outlook where I don't take the outcome as serious, even though I have a desired effect of how I want the outcome to end up. I no longer am invested in the outcome. I'm invested in the moment. And I just do my best in that moment. And no matter what the outcome, I'm okay. And that's a huge difference from how I used to be before I started taking the cold showers and before I started doing the holding the breath. I did those simultaneously. And when I hit stressful situations in real time, I no longer have to tell myself to take a deep breath because I'm already there. I'm already relaxed. And I'm no longer anxious about that time constraint that I placed upon myself. So now I'm building my stress muscle. And so that's what I want to actually share with you as we develop a different relationship with stress. We have to see stress as a muscle and stop contracting it 24/7 without relaxing it and start building it with interval training that you can manually control. Because at the end of the day, your breathing takes a manual override to the automatic pilot of staying asleep and docile in this society. Thank you for listening. Hi, I'm Mikael, and once again, this is Breathe Infinity.